Hey, this is Shiraz, and before we get started, I just want to let you know that when I clear something for someone, when I cause a shift, I tend to yawn and cough from the energetic shift that happens. I don't know why it happens. It's just how my body works. And if you don't know that, you're going to listen to this video and go, what the hell is wrong with this guy? You might still think that, but now there's more of an explanation. The other thing to keep in mind is that if you hear something that you can absolutely relate to, when I cleared for them, you can get it cleared for you too. Just say yes when they're saying yes, and it works. I have people that watch these videos every morning to get stuff cleared. This can be your new morning habit too. Okay, that's enough for that. Let's get on with the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you get a great shift out of it. See you soon.
Um, a good relationship, like a permanent, romantic, friend, marriage relationship.
Okay, you're in a lot of resistance just talking about that.
Okay.
Okay, how's your parents' relationship?
Oh my God. Terrible.
Okay, is that what relationships look like?
And not the one I want, and not the ones that I aspire to. Like the friends I keep around, I try to keep friends that have good relationships around me so that I'm looking at them as my role models. So I have an
Yep.
aunt and uncle that were like completely like best friends. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago, but even now, she still says he was my best friend. He was like everything.
Okay.
Now we're ready to have our like we're ready to retire and have our life together, and he died.
Okay.
But then I have another cousin, and sort of family friends. Same thing. Like those are the relationships I'm looking at. I don't look at my parents as a relationship.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you grew up with your parents' relationship.
They weren't like that when I was little.
Okay.
They became like that. They like when I was growing up,
Yep.
actually, when I first got married and people would ask me like, because I'm divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And when people would, I wanted the relationship my parents had. They were, um, they were a powerhouse. They worked together. They raised us three girls together.
Okay.
Um, you know,
At what point did it stop being like that? How old were you?
when when I got married and left, they were not on the same page about my marriage.
Okay.
And I think that kind of started it. And then ever since then and then when I got divorced,
Yeah.
it completely obliterated their marriage.
Okay. So do your relationships ruin your parents?
It shouldn't. No, their relationships
Not my
ruined mine.
question. Do your relationships ruin your parents' relationship?
Um, I think sometimes yes.
Yeah. So that's coming up true. So if your parents' relationship got bad when you got married and got worse when you got divorced, what happens if you get married again and then God help what happens if you get divorced again? What's going to happen to your parents' relationship? So what's happening now is you're trying to protect your parents by not getting into a relationship, not creating marriage. So because you form that belief that your parents' relationship is affected by yours. But if they're fighting over your relationship, which has nothing to do with them, that's their own crap that just came to the surface. It's got nothing to do with you. They've made it about you, but it's got nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
So are you willing to step out of the story that your relationships ruin your parents' relationship?
How? Because I'm also on the other side thinking they are ruining my relationships, all my friendships.
Mm-hmm.
They get in the middle of, and like in over COVID, my parents were here a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And over the last 2 years, my very good friendships have been like destroyed. I don't have them anymore.
Okay.
So it's like a both way. Like, I don't know if they're jealous of my good relationships with my friends,
Okay.
or is it a jealousy? Is it a what? But somehow it affects them.
Yeah. But here's the thing. When you decide that things are going to be different, things start to become different.
Okay.
Right. So it's like when I decided I don't need to be stopped at the borders, I don't
Mm-hmm.
need to get that attention, I stopped getting stopped at the borders. part of what's going on here is you believe that every time you get a relationship, it makes your parents' relationship worse. The other thing that you just mentioned is that your parents are jealous of your relationship, so they sabotage it. So that means that if you try to get into a relationship, they're going to get jealous and they're going to try and sabotage that too. So you've got multiple reasons why you can't create a relationship right now.
Mm-hmm.
When you change the story, the reality around you shifts with it. So are you willing to step out of the story that your relationships ruin your parents' relationship?
Yes.
Ooh, there's a lot on that one. Are you willing to step out of the story that there's no point in getting into a relationship because your parents are going to get jealous and try and ruin it?
Yes.
Ooh. And are you willing to destroy the belief that you're responsible for what happens to your parents? Wow, there's a lot of resistance there. I can just feel it growing as you think about it.
I feel like vomiting when you're asking me that because I think I've been the parent since I was 5 years old.
Yeah. So you've created a belief that you're the parent and you're responsible for them. You're not. You never have been. But that's the story you're living in.
And you won't believe me. Just like an hour ago, I was talking to my dad because my sister is seeing someone,
Mhm.
and we were talking, and we went out, and I asked my dad, "Well, have you talked to him? Have you asked him this? Have you asked him that?" He goes, "No. Why should I care? It's up to her. She's the one that's gonna marry him. I'm not gonna marry him." I'm like, "But Dad, you're the parent. You're supposed to ask questions. You're supposed to." I'm telling him, I'm like, "I'm not supposed to do it. You're the parent." But I'm the one who ends up doing it.
Yeah, because you've created the dynamic that you're the parent.
Yes, and I don't want to be anymore.
Okay, so are you willing to step out of the story that you are the parent and you're responsible for your parents' actions?
So I've been doing that. I've been trying to shift out of it for the last, I don't know, I like try and step back. But then I see them going down the wrong, like my sister going down the wrong path, or my parents doing something wrong. And then I'm like, oh, I have to save them.
Yeah, so this is the thing. This is the thing. This is another reason you won't let it go, because you feel great whenever you save people in your family. So you have to create circumstances so that they can be saved. You have to justify, well, I'm not going to let them get hurt and figure this stuff out for themselves. I'd rather save them. And so we can keep perpetuating the same relationship until we die.
Okay, I don't want that anymore.
Okay. So are you willing to step out of the story?
Because even saving them now doesn't feel good.
Okay. Are you willing to step out of the story that you are the parent and you're responsible for your parents?
Yes.
Oh, it's starting to move and then you pull back. What's your value in your family if you're not the parent anymore?
Well, we'll have to find that new value.
Okay.
I won't be the parent. I'll just be a daughter. I'll just be a sister. I'll be a knowledgeable sister. Okay. Maybe someone that has experiences that I can share.
Okay.
But
so are you willing to step out of the story that your value comes from being the parent in your family?
Yeah.
And now are you willing to step out of the story that you are the parent and you're responsible for your parents?
Yeah, it's time. Long overdue.
Oh. Okay. How's that feel? Better, worse, the same, or different? There's no wrong answer.
It feels like almost a weight has been lifted, but it feels like it's just hovering over my head, ready to just to drop back down on me.
Yeah, because you've created so much around this, and that's, you're already starting to feel the withdrawal of it. This is something you're gonna have to keep working on and pull out all these different threads, all the different blocks from the Jenga tower to make the tower fall.
I actually like this Jenga visual.
Okay.
The other question, if you don't mind me asking, is to make this permanent or perpetuated, do I need to create affirmations or remind myself of this so that I don't let it fall back down on my shoulders?
So, like I said, you can do that. You can definitely use the audios I've set up.
Okay.
I have group programs and private programs that make sure you get out of this situation.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a like. And if you had a shift of your own, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Also, check out the description for energetic magic events that you can attend every single month. Be well, be aware, and be magical.